superhero genre was unstoppable. Marvel was a force to be reckoned with. Phases 1, 2, and 3 were just banger after banger after banger, culminating with Endgame, $2.8 billion, the number one box office until Disney did some Avatar re-release or whatnot. So what's happened since then? The superhero genre is dying. It's turning into the Western, yes, because unfortunately a bunch of writers were hired that are activists, and they're more concerned with putting messages in movies and the Marvel stuff than actually writing good stories like Iron Man 1, Captain America, Phases 1, 2, and 3 stuff. And it just shows because all these movies have started to decline in revenue, and it's not because of freaking COVID, it's just because these movies aren't good. Because Spider-Man made money, Top Gun made a bunch of money. How come these movies can make money? Because they keep the stories simple. It's about a hero's journey. It's not about Mary Sue woke BS. It's not about trying to make freaking women the greatest thing. It's official. Kevin Feige's been exposed. He's a fraud. He had a lot of help in Phases 1, 2, and 3. And the writers that he's hiring now, the She-Hulk writer, the writer for Moon Knight, and they just keep failing upwards. They come up with these dog shit shows, and they get promoted to making feature films. We're going to promote the guy who wrote a freaking She-Hulk to do an Avengers movie or whatnot. The Rick and Morty guys. We're hiring Rick and Morty writers. We're hiring... And these movies are crap. And Ant-Man didn't make... Quantumania did not make as much as the OG Ant-Man. How the hell do you do that? And Thor just fell off with Taika Waititi losing his damn mind with the comedy routine or whatnot, making Zeus just a damn joke or whatnot. And they just keep throwing, cameos. And remember, hey, we're going to throw Hercules at the end of, a post-credit scene. It's like nobody cares about the post-credit scenes anymore. You can find them online. They're not interesting. They're not exciting. Nobody's getting hyped for this. And Kang is not the next Thanos. Doctor Doom would probably be the next Thanos, but they're going to mess that up too. Kang is bullshit. It's bullshit. You have the scripts. They're called comic books. You have 80 years of scripts just sitting there. Just adapt them. Stop hiring writers that try to put their own spin on things. It's not working. Just adapt the comic books like you used to. This is crazy. How do you screw up Shang-Chi? How do you screw up the Eternals? How do you screw up Black Widow, which should have came out 10 years ago, but whatever. How do you screw up freaking Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? You had Spider-Man, you had freaking Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. You had a good thing going into that movie, and you ruined it by turning Wanda into random crazy chick. She was one way at the end of WandaVision. She was cool, she was chill, and then she just goes completely 180 psycho chick in the next movie. They don't explain any of that nonsense. The writers are horrible. They're just doing random shit that doesn't make any sense. She-Hulk should have been an easy slam dunk. It's just a freaking lawyer show with some superhero shit thrown in, and she didn't win a single case, and it was some dumb shit. The producers and the writers, every time they get criticized, they go on Twitter and they start blasting at the fans. That's really going to help bring more people in, calling the fans racist and all this other stuff because they don't like your freaking movie. No, they remember what Iron Man was and what freaking Avengers 1 was, how you felt when you came out of that movie, and how the Hulk used to be a badass and now he's just a soy boy. And he doesn't even Hulk out anymore. He doesn't do the thing that he's known for, which is just wrecking shit. Freaking, what is this? It's like they just took all the freaking cool stuff that made Marvel badass in Phases 1 through 3 and just threw it out the window. It's like, we're going to do our own thing. You know what they did? They were starting to feel themselves a little bit too much. They're like, man, our brand is so strong. We can do anything. People are just going to show up to this stuff. And that'll work for the first couple of movies and whatnot. But eventually people start getting smart to that. And they're like, yeah, this isn't what it used to be. And I'm not feeling this anymore. And I got a lot more options for entertainment. I'm going to go find something else to keep me occupied for a couple hours instead of this. And Marvel's fuck-ups are affecting DC. DC had a decent movie with that new freaking Shazam movie that came out. Shazam 2 was decent enough to where if that movie came out 10 years ago, it probably would have cleared 400 to 500 million. It didn't even clear 200 and whatnot. And it's because everybody's just tired of bad movies. And even when a decent one comes out, it's like, nah, I'm not going to trust y'all. I'm just going to wait for it on DVD or freaking streaming to come out and whatnot. And it's affecting them. And guess what? They just had a Blue Beetle trailer come out. And the Blue Beetle trailer looks like dog shit. The special effects look like dog shit. And of course, everybody was thinking, this isn't too bad. It looks like Blue Beetle. It feels like Blue Beetle. And they have to add in the line at the end of the trailer that they shouldn't have. Batman's a fascist. It's like, why would you do that? Just leave it out of the trailer. Who's editing these trailers? Is anybody supervising this shit? Hey, right now in this political climate, in this current time of thing, is not the time to be putting that line in the trailer. Leave it for the movie. That way, at least you can get the opening weekend box office people to go. So how do you think Aquaman 2 is going to do? based on Shazam 2's horrible all-time flopping box office and whatnot, and the fact that Jason Momoa now kind of has dad bod syndrome or whatnot, because all those dudes get tired of working out and they get tired of popping, things in their ass that are not steroids, not HGH and shit. How do you think that movie's gonna do? Amber Heard is your second lead character in the movie after the Johnny Depp trial. You didn't cancel her. You got rid of Henry Cavill, but you kept Amber Heard and Ezra Miller Flash. And speaking of Ezra Miller's Flash, that movie looks incredible. It looks dope as hell. Batman 89's in the movie and whatnot. And I don't think that movie's going to clear a lot of money because people are tired of this stuff. It's like, man, you can get the regular comic fans that are hardcore, but the regular average Joe fans are getting tired of this stuff. They're tired of the comic book movies because the previous ones that come before them are average to dog shit. That's why. And Blue Beetle is just not even going to make any money. So DC's kind of screwed because by the time they get to 2025, James Gunn's Superman Legacy movies, anybody gonna give a crap? You got rid of the most popular Superman in the last 30 years with Henry Cavill. You kept Ezra Miller and Amber Heard, but you got rid of Cavill. And I don't think James Gunn's Superman movie is going to bring everybody. It's going to be better than Man of Steel. Man of Steel made like $700 million. And that was considered like a flop or whatnot. We got to make billions or whatnot. And Batman and Superman versus Superman was a flop. And Justice League was a holy shit flop. And they remade the movie like 3 times with HBO Max's Snyder Cut bullshit. And the Snyder fans are still wanting more. They're still petitioning for more shit. So DC's screwed. They're done. I don't think James Gunn can reboot the thing to the point. They have a 10-year plan. Why do you have a 10-year plan, DC? Warner Brothers is broke. They're in debt up to their eyeballs, and you have a 10-year plan. Just make one incredible movie, and then make another one, and then make 3 or 4, and then do a 10-year plan like Marvel did back in the day. So none of the new Marvel Disney Plus shows have gotten any of these characters any hype, any interest. Nobody's interested in Shuri, Black Panther. They should just recast freaking Chadwick Boseman, RIP, but recast Black Panther. Nobody's interested in female Black Panther. Nobody's interested in Riri, Iron Man, knockoff Williams. Nobody's interested in Moon Knight, which was a cool character, and they ruined that on Disney Plus. None of the Disney Plus shows have gotten anybody hype. She-Hulk is a bust. New Daredevil looks like dog shit with his mustard yellow and black costume from the comic books that only lasted like 6 issues, and they changed it to the red and black. They should have just kept his Netflix costume. Oh, we're going to bring the Punisher back. Yeah, because Disney's going to totally allow the Punisher to freaking rock MP5s blowing caps in dudes' heads and shit. No, they're going to make him like the comic books. They're going to turn him into a ninja, and they're going to change his skull to some demon-looking thing because we can't have the Punisher skull because of politics, because that's what it is. It's politics and agenda bullshit. None of these characters, nobody's hyped about any of this shit. The Eternals are dead in the water. What the fuck?